listen carefully.
Oh, these are good. These are like addictive. You could eat an entire jar of these if you just let yourself. I hope you absolutely love bread and butter pickles. This is an old recipe from the Depression that I think is just absolutely fantastic. Lauren and myself love these pickles. So go ahead and try this recipe at home. The flavor should be sweet with just a little bit of a spice. These jars come out looking absolutely gorgeous when they're done. I love this recipe. I forgot how much I love this recipe. Hey PickleBear family, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be canning some bread and butter pickles. This recipe goes all the way back to the Depression era or earlier. If people didn't have enough food, and a lot of people didn't, they would go ahead and get the cheapest foods that they could, peppers, onions, cucumbers, things like that. The reason that they call them bread and butter is because they were originally a sandwich pickle. You would take all the good stuff out of the jar, put it in between bread, and eat it as a sandwich. We thought that this was really cool when we first got into canning. It was the first recipe that we ever tried. It's one of our favorite recipes. It's a nice mixture of sweet and spicy, and it's a very mild spice. It doesn't burn at all, which is awesome. It's one of the few recipes that we make that doesn't burn. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so here we are. To start, we're going to need a whole bunch of crinkle cut pickle chips. Now Lauren went ahead and did these already. She cut them into a nice crinkle cut, decently thin, and this is going to be a great size chip, especially for sandwiches or whatever you please. So we're also going to cut a whole bunch of these Fresno peppers, and yes, I always recommend using gloves, although if I'm being honest, these peppers don't even really affect me anymore. We're gonna go ahead and salt these generously with kosher salt. That's gonna suck all the moisture out and it's gonna collect in the bottom of our bowls. We're just gonna take some saran wrap. Oh, what you want? So you want to take a layer and put it on the inside and just conform it to the cucumbers. Alright, there we go. So now we got a whole bunch of our peppers in there too. Now we're just going to go ahead and pop this in the fridge for about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, depending. Every hour or so, I'm going to go ahead and drain all the water right out of this.
2 hours later.
So everything is nice and dry on the top, and then all that moisture collecting in the bowl there. We're going to pour all that right out. Now we're going to go ahead and make our brine. To make our brine, we're going to need several ingredients, and we're going to need to mix it all into the same pot along with the cucumbers. We're going to cook it all at the same time. So now we're going to give this a nice stir. Mix all of that up with the vinegar, water, and sugar. Next, we're going to go ahead and take some of our cucumbers. We don't actually have to do a ton. We're just going to rinse them off, and then we're just going to throw them right in the pot with everything else. Alright guys, so now that we've gone ahead and mixed all of our cucumbers and everything in there, this is what our pot looks like. It smells gorgeous. It smells a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet. We're just going to go ahead and bring this mixture back up to a boil. Try to get everything as submerged as possible. Like I said, I had a lot of cucumbers. I was really trying to get away with what I could. I may end up having more cucumbers than I do brine, but it'll be fine. The mixture's right. Yeah, All right, stay tuned. I'll get this up to a boil. I'll show you what everything's looking like, and then we'll get canning. So this is the funnel, and the funnel makes getting all of this stuff in here without making a huge mess much, much easier. So I highly recommend using one of these if you can. Okay, so right here, we've got our canning pot. This is very, very, very hot. This is easily over 200 degrees, which is perfect. We want it as hot as humanly possible. We're gonna take our lids, and the lids are gonna go right in the pot. And the reason we do this is so that we can heat up the seals, so that they'll get a nice seal. With the bread and butter recipe, you wanna make sure and take a nice wet cloth and just wipe around the rims so that you get all that stickiness off of there. Otherwise, you may not get a good seal. So you leave these in here for between 10 and 30 seconds. Let it get nice and warm. Pop it right on top of your jar. You want to twist your ring on, and you don't want to ratchet it down, you just want to tighten it down. If you go too tight on it, won't work. It'll end up popping, and that's no good. Welcome back, guys. It's the next morning. I've got a partial jar here. I'm gonna go ahead and taste these for you on camera, just so that we know what we're getting into. I always like to taste the pickles after every run. That way I know I've got a consistent flavor. The flavor should be sweet with just a little bit of a spice. So sweet and spicy is what we were going for. Hopefully that's exactly what we get here. All right, dive right in. Cheers. Okay. It's been a little while since I've had it. So it's nice and sweet, but it's not too sweet. That's why we took the sugar level down a little bit from 2 cups to 1.5 cups per recipe. Really, it's just a great sweetness, nice salty sweetness. There's really just the hint of a spice there, but it's not overwhelming. I mean, you can barely taste a spice, which is awesome. It's just enough to give it a little bit of a pepper flavor, and it complements the sweetness very, very well. Oh, and you can eat everything in these jars. So a little piece of onion right here and a pepper. I'm gonna eat all that too. Well, there you are, PickleBear family. These are the PickleBear bread and butter. You can try these at home. And comment down below if you do. Send us pictures of your product. We'd love to see what you come up with. So down below in the description, I will go ahead and link the entire recipe as is. Remember that I did multiply the recipe by 3 times due to the amount of cucumbers that I used. Well, thank you so much for watching our tutorial on how to make bread and butter pickles. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below if you found this interesting or helpful. Remember to hit the subscribe button to win your own PickleBear pickles in our monthly giveaway. And thank you for watching.